dear tutors, welcome back in today's session. Friends, in this session, we are going to start a new chapter, a new unit, and the name of that unit is Art and Sculpture. In then the first chapter that we are going to discuss today, and the name of that chapter is the Model Millennium. Friends, the Model Millennium is a short story written by Oscar Wilde. Before going to discuss in detail about the story, it is necessary, it's required to know about the writer, to know about the author and its background. Friends, as I told you, this story is written by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was born on 1854 and died on 1900. Means 1900. He was born on 1854 and died on 1900. See, friends, basically, if you look at the background, then you will understand he is Irish writer. He has written in English as well as in French language. So many stories, so many playwrights he has written, so many novels he has written. Okay, and he has spent more time in London. Means he born in Irish, he is basically known as Irish writer. He born in Ireland and spent more time in London. Okay. See, as I told you, he is known for short story, playwrights and novel. He is a well-known author during the period of 1880. During the period of 1880, means in that decade, he has written a lot of things. Okay, his notable works are Lady Windermere's Fan, Lady Windermere's Fan, The Happy Prince and Other Stories, House of Pomegranates, Importance of Being Artist, The Picture of Dorian Gray. See, these are his notable work, his notable contribution in literature. See, friends, this story, the Model Millennium, we will discuss about the background of this story. See, it first appeared in print in the newspaper, and the name of that newspaper is The World, and it published in 1887. This story first time published in newspaper, and the name of that newspaper is The World. It published in June 1887. It was again published in Crime and Other Stories in 1891. Means this story had published twice. Okay? See, friends, now we will discuss about the characters of the story. We will introduce the characters of the story, then it will be beneficial to us to understand the plot, the theme, the message and the content of the story. If you are knowing the characters very well, then it will be easy to understand the relation between them. Okay? Their relation, if you are knowing, then you will get easily the plot of the story. So friends, let's start. So friends, the first character of the story, that is Hughie Erskine. Hughie Erskine. See, Hughie Erskine is the protagonist of the story, and he is a poor young man who is moved its pity by the sight of elderly beggar who is posing as a model for his artist friend. See, the main character, the protagonist of the story, the hero of the story is Hughie Erskine. Okay, he had gained the pity of the millennium. What has there, what was there, what had happened, that we will discuss in detail whenever we will start to discuss. But keep in mind, he had gained the pity by the sight of an elderly beggar who is posing as a model for his artist friend. And he was a lover of Laura. He was a kind man, he was a charming fellow, but He was unemployed. He had no job. Okay. What is the further story? That we will discuss in detail. Another character, that is the Laura Merton. Laura Merton is the heroine of the story, and it means she is the lover of Yui Erskine. Laura Merton is the heroine of the story, and she is the lover of Yui Erskine. Okay, and she is the daughter of retired colonel. One more character is there, colonel character. Okay, she is the daughter of Colonel Merton. Okay, Colonel Merton. Then after, another character is here, Alan Trevor. Alan Trevor is a painter, artist friend of Yui Erskine. Alan Trevor is a painter and artist friend of Yui Erskine. In the story, he was he was doing the painting, okay, of Baron Horsburgh, means that model millionaire. Okay. Then another important character, that is Baron Horsburgh. Baron Horsburgh is a model of beggar, but actually the millionaire, the richest man in Europe. Okay, Baron Horsburgh is a model of beggar. Okay, but he was a richest man in Europe. One more character is there, that is the Colonel Merton. Colonel Merton is the father of Laura Merton. Okay, the father of Laura Merton. That these are the important characters of the story. First one, Yui Erskine, the protagonist. Okay, the lover of Laura Merton. Another character, Laura Merton. Laura Merton is the heroine, okay, of the story, and daughter of retired colonel. Okay, then after, next character, Alan Trevor. Friends, Alan Trevor is a friend of Yui Erskine, and he was a painter by profession. He was an artist by profession. Okay. Then after, Baron Horsburgh. Baron Horsburgh, okay, is a model for beggar, but actually he was a millionaire, richest man in entire Europe. So friends, let's discuss in detail. Friends, let's start what is given in this story. The first paragraph, we start. The model millionaire, Oscar Wilde. Unless one is wealthy, there is no use in being a charming fellow. It is better to have a permanent income than to be fascinating. These are great truths of modern life, which Yui Erskine never realized. Poor Yui. When his father died, he had left him no money at all. Yui lived on £200 a year that an old aunt gave him. He had tried his hand at a various jobs, but did not like any of them. Ultimately, he became nothing, delightful, unsuccessful young man with a perfect profile and no profession. See friends, now down the new words from this extract from the first paragraph, that is the fascinating, meaning is written here. Fascinating means here charming, and the next word, that is the profile, a person's face from the side. Okay, see what has given in the first paragraph of the story. The writer Oscar Wilde has presented the truth of modern life. He suggests us, he tells that romance, see, if you have money, then you have a value in the society. Clear? If you are unemployed, then none are asking you. No one will ask you. That point he has put forth in the first extract. What does he say? He wants to convey that romance is the privilege of a rich person. Okay? Not the profession of unemployed. See, in this line, in this extract, he want to suggest us that the romance is the privilege of a rich person, not a profession of unemployed. Means if you have money, then you have a value in the society. That is the core point of this extract. And he wants to suggest us that he has given at the beginning he introduced us the Huey, okay, poor Huey Erskine. Friends, Huey Erskine is the protagonist. He was an unemployed person. He was a jobless person. He was a poor, charming fellow. Okay, and he wants to suggest us that here in the first extract, the writer wants to convey that the poor should be practiced and prosaic. It means monotonous. The poor should be practiced and practical and prosaic. The poor should be practical and prosaic. It means monotonous. Means if you look at the background of this Huey Erskine, then Huey had tried. Means he had the work he had done the several jobs, but he couldn't success in it. See friends, in the story it is not given, but I am telling you for your extra knowledge, he has worked as a tea merchant, as well as he has a work in a stock market. Okay, he had worked as a tea merchant and he had worked in a stock market, but it couldn't happen. Okay, in this situation, he had become the butterfly among the bulls and bears. In that condition, though he had worked there, but he couldn't get the success, and he had become the butterfly of the bulls and bears of the society. Okay, it means ultimately he became nothing. Ultimately he became nothing, delightful, unsuccessful young man with a perfect profile but no profession. Means he was a well-versed person, he was a well-literate person, but he was jobless. Okay, he was a man with a perfect profile, but he had no profession. That was his tragedy. Okay, that was his tragedy. Here the point is given. When his father died, he had left him no money at all. Okay, when he was belonged to the poor family, and at the time of when his father died, his father had not left anything for him. He was surviving. He lived on 200 pounds a year that old aunt gave him. See, 200 pounds a year. Pounds is a currency in Europe. European currency is. Okay, you understood the first para? In the first para, writer has presented the reality of modern world. See, the Oscar Wilde was the popular during the 18th century, and if you look at the 18th century, it was the era of modernization. Okay, means yes, machine work has started there. Okay, and in that situation, what was the condition there? If you have money, in today's world also the situation, these problems we are facing, number of people are there, they are jobless. Though they have professions, though they have perfect profile, but they had no job. They don't have a job in his hand. Okay, see, that is the first extract. That point he has presented. You just keep in mind, he was a jobless person, he had no job. And one more important point, he was surviving on 200 pounds, which was getting from his aunt. Okay, 200 pounds a year. See, what does second para tells us? To make matter worse, he was in love. The girl he loved was Laura Merton, a daughter of a retired colonel. They were the handsomest couple in London and had not a penny piece between them. The colonel was very fond of Huey, but could not hear of any engagement. See, In the second para, the writer presented the love points. Means he was in a love. See, already I told you he is the protagonist and the lover of Laura Merton. Friends, I told you the Laura Merton is the daughter of a retired colonel, and they were the handsomest couple in London. They were the handsomest couple in the London city and had not penny piece between them. Means penny piece means here they both had no money. They both had no money, but they were intimate lover. Okay, passionate lover. They were passionate lover and the handsomest couple in the London. Okay. Here, in the next line of the story, the conflict has been presented by the writer. He has given a twist to the story. What is that twist? The colonel was very fond of Hughie but could not hear any engagement. He liked the Hughie, though the Colonel Merton liked Hughie, okay, but he couldn't broach the subject of engagement because he had no job. He was jobless, okay. He had no money. His father had not left any property on his land, okay, and that's why Colonel Merton was very fond of Hughie. He liked Hughie by the nature, but actually he would not hear any of engagement. See, means due to the poverty, due to the due to poor prospect, he doesn't want to marry his daughter. Means he was not giving the permission for this marriage, okay, due to the poor prospect. Okay, come to me, my boy. When you got 10,000 pounds of your own, and we will see about it, he used to say. See, that is the conflict. That is the twisting point of the story. See, in Hindi movie also you are watching this, right now. See, the heroine belonged to the poor family and heroine belonged to the richest family. Okay, and the father of heroine was putting the condition in front of that hero. If you are earning that much money, means a different kind of condition. Here the condition is that if you are able to earn 10,000 pounds of your own, 10,000 pounds of your own, then he would think about their marriage with his daughter Laura. See, that is the twist of the story. Clear. Next point. One morning, Hughie drove to see a great friend of his, Alan Trevor. See friends, another character is introduced by the writer. Another character is here. The name of that character is Alan Trevor. Friends, already I told you, Alan Trevor was the artist by profession, and he is the friend of Hughie Erskine. Okay, Trevor was an artist. He was a strange, rough fellow with a freckle face. Freckle face. What is meant by freckle face? Face with many small and brownish spots. See, his physical appearance has given here. The writer has given the description about his physical nature, his physical appearance. Okay, how he was looking. That point he has given here. His physical appearance he has discussed here. He was a strange, rough fellow with a freckle face and a red rag beard. However, when he took up the brush, he was a real master, and his pictures were eagerly sought after. See, sought after means demand in everyone's favorite. See, his physical appearance he has given here by the writer. See, physical appearance always deceives us. That is the theme of the lesson. Physical appearance always can deceive us. See, how the person is looking, may not tell that what is his skill, what are the skills are having in him. Though he was a rough fellow, though his face was a freckle face, okay, means his physical appearance was not too good, but he had a skill, that is the painting. When he was taking the brush in his hand, that time he was a real master. That time he was a real master, and his pictures were eagerly sought out. Means whatever he was presenting, painting, it had more demand. It became the favorites of everyone. More demands in the market. Here, the writer present the point. Keep in mind, appearance always deceives. It is the theme of the lesson. I will discuss separately the theme, title, message of the poem separately. But till this, you have to keep in mind, appearance can be deceive us. Okay? See, when Huey came in, he found Trevor putting finishing touch to a wonderful life-size picture of a beggar man. On that day, Huey had gone to meet his friend. Name of his friend is Alan Trevor. At that time, that Alan was portraying, means he was making the picture, he was giving the finishing touch to his picture of a wonderful life-size picture of a beggar man. Okay, he was portraying. Okay, he was giving a finishing touch to his picture. The beggar himself was standing on a raised platform in a corner of a studio. He was a bent old man with a wrinkled face. The saddest expressions over his shoulder was flung a coarse brown cloth. Coarse means here rough. The meaning of coarse means here rough. C-O-A-R-S-E, not C-O-R-S-E. See, C-O-A-R-S-E, coarse brown cloth. All tears and tatters. Tears and tatters, clothes that are old and badly torn. His thick boots were patched, and with one hand he leaned on a rough stick, while with other he held out his battered hat for arms. See, when Huey gone there, reached there, at that time, Alan Trevor was giving a finishing touch to the picture. And he was drawing the picture of a poor beggar who was standing on a raised platform in a corner of the studio. See, he was painting the picture of a poor beggar who was standing on a raised platform in a corner of the studio. Here the description about that old man is given. Another important point. See, already I told you, the modern millionaire, okay, that though he was looking poor, physically, actually he was the richest person in the world, richest person in the London. Okay, what is the description is given? Physical appearance as given here. Beggar himself was standing on a raised platform in a corner of the studio. He was bent old man. Friends, here the description is given how he was looking, with a wrinkled face and the saddest expressions. Over his shoulders was a flung coarse brown cloth, all tears and chatter. See, his thick boots were patched. Look at the picture, then you will get clear-cut idea about this. Here, the picture has given here. In that picture, you are getting the patch, boots were patched. Okay, he had worn the all tears and tattered clothes. Tears and tattered clothes he had he had wear. See, while with other he held out his battle had for arms. In one hand he was carrying stick. He had a stick in one hand, and the other hand he had others he held out his battle hand for arms. Means begging. See what an amazing model. Whispered he as he shook hands with his friends. How miserable he looks. How much does a model get for sitting? Asked Yui. When Yui saw this, Yui Erskine saw this thing at that time, he felt pity on him. He felt mercy on that model. He felt pity on that model. He asked a question to his friend. What he asked? How miserable he looks. He asked. What a sad person he is. How miserable he looks. That question he had asked. How much does a model get for sitting? Asked you. See, how much does that model get who is sitting? Okay, he was drawing the picture of a beggar, and the beggar was standing on a raised platform. And Huey asked the question, how many rupees that models are getting? Okay, shilling an hour. Okay, shilling an hour means 20 shilling to a pound. Okay, 20 shilling to a pound. And how much do you get for your picture, Alan? For this, I get 2,000 guineas. See, he was getting 2,000 guineas. Guineas is a currency, old British coins. Okay, each worth 21 shillings. Guineas is a currency, old British currency. And he asked that how many rupees are getting to this model and how many rupees he got. He get. That question was asked by Huey Erskine. Well, and on that, Alan Treble had given a reply, and the reply was that he was getting 2,000 guineas, and that model means that beggar was getting 20 shilling an hour. Okay, well, I think the model should have percentage, cried Huey laughing. They work quite hard as you do. See, he was in a joking manner. And so he told that I think the model should get percentage because they work quite as hard as you do. Okay, he was standing there, means he was taking more effort than you. Means he was just teasing him. Nonsense. Why? You look at the trouble of lying on paint alone, standing all day long one's essence. It is all very well, for you to talk, but I assure you that there are moments when art almost becomes manual labor. But you must not chatter. I am busy, so keep quiet. Means he shouted on Huey Erskine. He told that nonsense. Why look at the trouble of lying on the paint alone? See, you are just looking the trouble of that man. You are not getting the troubles. Means getting my efforts. Whatever he was doing, that point he was not getting. Okay? I assure you that there are moments when art almost become manual labors. Art almost become the manual labors. Means artists have to take a lot of efforts to draw his picture. See, and he shouted and told that he had a work, he was a busy person now. After some time, helper came in and told Trevor that frame maker wanted to speak to him. When they were discussing with each other, at that time, a helper came there and he had given a message that Trevor, frame maker was calling him. train maker wanted to speak with him. Don't run away, Huey, he said. As he went out, I will back in a moment. See. And when he got that message at that time, he told Huey, just stay here, not to move from here. The old beggar took advantages of Trevor's absence. To the rest of for a moment on the wooden bench that was behind him. Means when the Alan Trevor left from this room, means he went down at that time, that beggar sat on the bench. He looked so forlorn. Forlorn means here sad and lonely. He looked so forlorn and wretched. Note down. The meaning note down. Forlorn means here sad and lonely, and wretched means here very unhappy. Means that poor man, poor beggar was so forlorn. Means he was a very much sad. He was a very much lonely. We can say he was a very much lonely. Okay. That Huey could not help pitying him and felt in his pockets to see what money he had. And when he saw that man who was a very sad, who was a very much unhappy at that time, when he saw this face, when he saw the picture at that time, already I told you he was a very kind by his nature, and he felt pity on that poor man. And so he felt in his pockets to see what money he had. He felt pity on him, and because of that he was searching whatever money he had in the pocket. Whether the monies are having in the pocket or not, that he started to find out. All he could find was a gold coin 70. Poor old fellow, he thought to himself. He wants it more than I do. But it means no taxis for next 2 weeks. Already I told you he was a poor person. See, that is very much important thing in a life. See, if you have at that time number of people are donating, number of people are there, they are giving to others. But if you don't have, then in that situation also you are helping to others. That is very much important. I told you the condition of that Huey Erskine. Huey Erskine was a very poor man. Okay, he was a jobless person. He was surviving on how many rupees he was getting? He was getting 100 pounds, 200 pounds from his aunt. Per year he was getting 200 pounds. On that he was spending whole year. On that he was spending entire year. Okay, and in that situation also he felt pity. He saw the condition of that person and he felt pity on him, and he had given a gold coin to him. Okay, see. Poor fellow, he thought himself he wants it more than that. Means he wanted to give more, but he couldn't give it because already I told you he was a very poor person. Okay, but it means no taxes for the next 2 weeks. Whatever money he had given. Okay, it means he had no taxi. It means no taxi for next 2 weeks. Means in next 2 weeks he couldn't go by the taxi because that much money he had given that poor beggar. He walked across the studio and slipped the sovereign into the beggar's hands. Sovereign means here old British coin. He gave that He gave that coin to this poor man. The old man looked surprised and smiled frankly. Thank you, sir, he said. Thank you. Okay. Then Trevor arrived. Okay, friends, till this point, have you understood this story? remaining point I will discuss into my next lecture. What I discussed today in the first paragraph, we saw that the condition of Huey Erskine. Huey Erskine belonged to the poor family. Okay, he was a jobless person. Okay, and he was a loving with Laura Merton, and Laura Merton was the daughter of a rich colonel, retired colonel. Okay, Merton, retired colonel, and the retired colonel was also like that Huey Erskine, but he was not ready to give the hand of his daughter in his hand. He had a condition for that. What was this condition? If he could earn the $10,000, then he would think about this. Okay. Then after we saw that Alan Merton, Alan Trevor. Alan Trevor is a friend of Huey Erskine. He is the painter by profession. He was, when Huey reached there, at that time he was painting a picture of a poor beggar who was standing beside him. Okay, and see, till this point we have discussed. And when the Huey Erskine saw the condition of that poor beggar, at that time he felt pity on him, and he had given a whatever money was there in his pocket, that money he had given to him. Till this point, okay, we have completed remaining part of the story. We will discuss into the next lecture. Thank you.